What's going on, guys? My name is Grau and welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be going over the M13. This is going to be the best class setup for this because I believe this is going to be the new meta, because as you guys know, the Grau is getting a nerf pretty soon, so I would start using different guns to kind of get a feel for other guns, and I believe this is going to be the meta. So I'm going to just hop right into the customization so that if you guys just want the class setup you can get it, then leave, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more about the gun and why I think it's going to be the new meta. So here is the setup for you guys. I have the monolithic suppressor for the muzzle. This will allow you to get damage range and then obviously sound suppression. But also pairing that up with the Tempest Marksman, you also get an additional damage range plus the bullet velocity. And these two attachments alone make this gun so much better. And moving on to the ammunition, I rock the 60 round mag just so that you could, beam people from across the map and have those extra bullets to use. Now, the grip, I'm actually using the stippled grip tape because you get the ADS speed but also sprint to fire. So I was testing this gun out with the Ranger foregrip, and that does increase the range on the gun, but I realized that in close quarter combat, just my ADS was too slow and I couldn't get my gun up to fire fast enough. So I decided to switch over to the stippled grip tape, and I believe this is the best attachment on the gun. Now, finally, you can go over to the optic. Now this is the part where you guys can decide whether or not you want an optic or not. I found that for beaming people at long range, I like having at least a sight on it. You can choose whichever one you guys like to use. I like using GI Mini Reflex, but that's just personally what I like to use. You guys could switch up this. You don't need to use an optic. If you wanted to, I would recommend going for another stock attachment, maybe the close quarter stock or even the no stock, because then you can get a ton of mobility out of this gun. But this is just where you guys can play with how your play style is. If you guys are a bit of a slower player, like to sit back, let your team kind of push up a bit, and then you beam from afar, then you don't necessarily need the ADS as much, and then you could go for like aiming stabilization, or then you could even throw on the Ranger foregrip and get that extra range. But I like having the optic. That's just for my play style, so the optic is the only thing you guys could switch out for however you play. Now, like I said, I am going to go into why I think this is going to be the meta. So previously with the Grau, everybody knows that it's just an absolute laser and you don't need an optic, and that's what makes it even better. Now the M13 also, I know it says the Blue Jay, but it's just one of the variants that I'm using on it. It's the only one that I have. But with the M13, this gun absolutely beams people. It is very accurate. It does have a little bit less damage, and that is why we threw on the monolithic suppressor and the Tempest Marksman to get that damage range up. That way it counters the less damage that the M13 does. So I would highly recommend you guys go try this gun out and just beam people with it. It's an absolute laser. If you guys hit your shots to just have relatively decent aim, then this gun is just going to beam people across the map. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and leave a like on the video, I'd really appreciate that. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn the bell notification on to all. Also, check out the join button down below by the subscribe button. That way you guys could have your names featured on the screen like you see right now. Huge shout out to Death, Hyper, and Timothy. Peace.